Joe. I don't know if you can hear me, but the theme song is playing.
I am super duper cereal.
See? I do know. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Funky.
I don't know, friend. I don't know. How are you?
All right.
I'll answer for you. You're great, right? Because we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And this
Yep.
is what we love.
Yep.
It's the thing that we love.
You got it.
You got it, bud.
You
Yes,
got it,
sir.
bud. Oh, well, now I'm like super loud. Hold on. Now, you know what? I should have this all the way up. And then I will adjust from here. Yeah, it's better.
There you go. There you go.
No, I don't got you popping locking.
Yeah, you don't want me popping. You don't want me popping
Popping
like.
and locking. Indubitably.
Indubitably. So, just so everybody has a heads up, I'm gonna play Science Man, and Joe's gonna play Learning Man.
All right.
I almost said something.
Minimal thinking on my part.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep. I did some research and on some
Welcome
stuff.
back, Cotter.
Nope, nothing to do with that. Basically, the topic is I decided to call it Animals Crazier Than Pokemon. It's a bit of hyperbole because none of them actually can like shoot flames or anything like that because it's not a real thing that animals do. But I have some cool animals that we're going to talk about and, see if you have any questions that I maybe can or can't answer.
Can or can't answer?
Probably can't answer them, but we'll ask the questions anyway.
What's up with the platypus?
What's up with the platypus?
What's up with the platypus?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Is a platypus one of them?
Platypus is one of them. How could it not be? How could it not be? You got any other guesses?
What about an alpaca?
Alpaca.
Nope, not an alpaca.
Okapi.
Okapi.
Nope, not on there. Maybe
All right,
next
that's
time.
all right though. I don't think it's that crazy anyway. I just think it's weird evolutionary. Dude, look at rhinos.
Rhinoceros is pretty crazy,
That's
but
a crazy.
as far as I know, I mean, this isn't just about the way they look. It's about things that they do.
My brain, just so you know, after our conversation earlier this morning, just lit on fire with tons of animals. Literally just now.
Just now. Well, cool.
Where I
Then we
was
can
like-
talk
where I
about
was
more
like,
stuff. We don't have to limit it to the stuff that I
No,
wrote
go ahead.
down.
You
So
fire away.
we're starting off light.
Other thing, real quick though,
Sure.
I do want to put this out there right off the front. I have a meeting next week from 5 to 8.
On Tuesday.
So if we do it, if we do it, it wouldn't be until like 9.
That's fine. We could do a late one next week.
All right.
That's all right.
All right.
Well,
Mr.
I think
Wolfman.
all
Learn
of
something.
our many thousands of followers, I'm sure will understand us having to do it a little later. It's totally fine.
It's so we're gonna upset Jackie.
Well, she doesn't watch it live, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so we're starting off light. Starting off with something a lot of people probably think they're familiar with, the kangaroo. Visually, very strange-looking animal in my opinion. I feel like they kind of, sort of have a bit of a deer-like head. Their head's kind of like the head of a deer, I guess.
Yep.
But they stand up. We'll just kind of run through the basics of these animals, I guess. Kangaroos stand up on fucking gigantic rear legs. And they have like little T-Rex kind of... They're not like T-Rex-like, but they're much smaller, hands. They grab with them and stuff.
Dude, those things are legit part of their fighting, though, are they not? Right? They're front.
Yeah,
hands
they
are
grab with
weird.
them. They can drown. They could, like if one of them is like fighting you in the water for some reason, they can hold you down and
They can
drown
hold
you.
down.
It's
Yeah.
it's in their nature to like drown things that they're
Really.
maybe threatened by. Yeah, people have seen it, I
Okay.
guess. But I think the craziest feature of them is their gigantic
love how
tail.
I love how you're bringing it to me like it's a car offer. One of the best features about, if you're looking for a 2018 kangaroo, let me tell you, the tail, if you don't have a good tail on that thing, you got to go to another dealer, Fred.
I mean, that's worth the introductory price alone, is the
Yeah.
tail.
We haven't even talked about any add-ons.
Yeah, we have.
But the tail is really, that's the first we're going to check out the tail.
Yeah, so their tail is a feature that many people are familiar with, but their tail is fucking huge, and they can actually support their entire body weight on their tail. They do use it to kind of spring off, you know, a little bit. They can kind of bounce on it. When they're in a full out run, they do just bounce on their two hind legs, and their tail provides balance, in you know, to oppose their front end kind of rocking around. Interesting fact, which is the point. They can't move their rear legs independently.
They got posi traction. Get the hell out of here.
Yep. It's called a fixed rear axle in the car world. Yep. They can't. Well, all right. I think they're pretty sure that they can't. Apparently, when they swim, they move them independently, but on land, they do not move them.
Even when they're
independently.
Kicking stuff too, probably, huh?
Yeah, because they jump back on their tail and kick. Or they lean back on their tail. So what that means is when they're moving slowly, they can't walk. So what they do is they lean forward and they put their front hands down, and they put their weight on their tail and then hop their back legs forward. And so they're putting most of their weight on their tail while they hop their front legs, tail, front legs, tail, front legs, or tail, rear legs, while kind of like keeping their front paws on the ground. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
they're
pretty cool.
marsupials, right?
They are marsupial.
They're marsupials.
Yeah, which means they have a pouch, or marsupial mammal, I guess it's called, because they do lactate. They give they give birth to live young. But marsupial is, I don't know exactly the breakdown of the word, but they have a pouch. Okay.
Which is Joey stays?
Yes, a baby kangaroo is called a joey.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure everybody knows. But
yeah, but not everybody's named Joey, so
that's true.
Bazinga.
We don't.
You don't like Bazinga?
We don't allow that word on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if you use it again.
Wow. I don't even know what that's from.
You can use it ironically. That's fine. From The Big Bang Theory. Anyways. Yeah. So they give live birth to little, but here's the thing: is kangaroos give birth to the equivalent of a premature baby. So the baby isn't fully gestated.
Really?
Right, which is why they have the pouch. So the baby crawls, has the physical strength to pull itself along the fur from the vagina or whatever you'd call it, up into the pouch, goes into the pouch, and then nurses and fully develops in the pouch. I don't know percentage-wise. I don't know if it's like half or 3/4 developed, but it is able to crawl out as a fetus, basically, crawl out and climb into the pouch from underneath, around, up, down, in.
Well, like chimpanzees do that right after birth too.
Yeah, but they're fully developed.
Yeah, they're fully developed. No way. That's crazy. Wow.
Like they're fully gestated, whereas a baby kangaroo is not.
Is not, and they're always born like that.
Yep.
And then they stay in the pouch for how long?
I think a couple more months. I don't know exactly. I think it depends. Yeah, it's a couple more months. They stay in there, and they nurse in there. Do you have a guess at how many nipples a kangaroo has in the pouch?
1.
No.
I'm gonna 4.
4. That's it. 4. It's 4.
Okay.
Even more fascinating.
Don't know why I went 1. I don't know. I feel like that was a dumb thing to say, just because I'm like, I can't pick. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Interesting side note: my dog has 7 nipples. Normally, dogs have 8.
Really?
Because she had surgery and they removed one of them, and they managed to get the 7th bottom one right in the center. So it's like 2, 4, 6, 7, right in the middle.
Really?
Yeah, it looks real weird. It's like kind of unsettling.
Is that a little extra penis?
It looks like a little tiny, teeny tiny little nipple thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
all right. So they crawl into there, then they nurse for a couple months. Is it possible for kangaroo? Do they have more than one birth? More than one.
Yes.
Okay. So they can have up to 4.
They can. Really, they have up to 3. I don't know why the number's not 4, but they can have up to 3 babies at once, all nursing. and obviously because they give birth to one at a time.
Right.
So if you think about it, if they're at 3 different stages of
They all
youth,
come out at different times.
they all come out at different times, but if they're all nursing at the same time, they all need different levels of certain kinds of nutrients, fat and stuff. So a kangaroo can actually produce they can produce different milk out of each nipple.
So once they latch that one nipple, that's their nipple?
I don't know the answer to that, but I would think so. I don't think they could
Because I
hot
would
swap.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
don't
mammary
think so.
glands would get
Yeah.
used to, like the high fat, very young kangaroo nurses off of this one. And because I think what happens is when they give birth, it goes out and it stays on that nipple until it's ready to come out of the pouch and like live life, and then sometimes come back in and nurse. So I imagine it does get onto that one until it's
just stays
gestated,
latched.
and then comes out as a baby, but still nurses and comes back in. Probably on that same nipple because it's familiar located.
Familiar location.
But yeah, so that was a crazy thing to me, was that they can make up to 4 different kinds of milk
at once.
for 3 different I don't know. It obviously probably only be 3 different kinds, but I guess they have the potential to do 4 different kinds.
To do different
for
four
whatever
different
reason.
kinds. Well, yeah, I'll guarantee you that if there's only 3 and then that other nipple's there, it probably is already producing the 4th different kind.
Yeah, so maybe one can move over. I don't
You know,
really
like
know.
like the universal blood.
Yeah,
You know
maybe.
what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
just to
Wow.
cover all the bases.
that's pretty wild. All right, so now here's
Crazy,
my other
dude.
question. You did
Sure.
say earlier that they lean back on their tail to kick.
Mhm.
I thought that they just kicked and their tail supported them in the kick and then repositioned them after. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm pretty sure what happens is their tail's already on the ground. So they lean back onto the tail and they kick. And I guess that would mean that a lot of the energy is coming from their tail too, just like when you throw a punch, the energy comes from your feet and your hips. You know what I mean? Because you're pressing off of it.
You're pressing off.
If you were floating in the air, you wouldn't be able to hit anything very hard because the energy would travel equally in both directions. Yeah. So I imagine their tail's doing some gripping and pushing to counteract the movement of their feet.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's why when people Superman punch, they kick their back leg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because if you tried to punch without even moving your feet, your body would move backwards as well.
Right.
The energy has to equalize, basically.
Equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
Who said that? Who was that?
Not
Newton. Murphy's Law? Nope, that's
Nope.
not Murphy's Law. That's
I don't
if
know.
anything could go wrong. It would go wrong.
We're straying from our lane a little bit there. I'm not sure.
Right. It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. What do I have? I think that about. Oh, so here's a crazy thing. This is the last thing I have on them. Oh, by the way, I think there are only 4 species of kangaroos, if you were curious.
Okay. Now they're all only from Australia,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
You know, kangaroos are like the only thing that you can't hunt in Australia. Do you know that I think it's like 98% of the animals that you're allowed to hunt in Australia were brought there?
Really?
Not indigenous.
Oh,
species.
yeah, that makes
The
sense.
vast majority of
Don't they hunt like domestic cats there?
They
but
hunt
they're
domestic
wild.
cats,
Well, they're
yeah,
not domestic because they're wild, but
they're wild cats, but
They
like
look
what
like-
we would consider domestic cats.
Right.
Yeah, but well, I guess there was a rabbit. There was a rabbit problem or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. They brought in cats to kill the rabbits, but the cats are decimating all the birds and.
yeah, the ground nesting birds and stuff.
But yes,
yeah.
I'm almost
Pigs do
positive
too.
that you cannot hunt any indigenous species in Australia.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I
That
thought
sounds
something
right.
like that. Yeah, you know,
Yeah, and there's more kangaroos in Australia than people.
I can believe that.
But yeah, I guess that makes sense because it's very low populated
Very
geographic
low
wise.
populated for what a huge freaking place
Yeah,
it is.
because it's uninhabitable basically, unless you're gonna live underground.
Yeah, and the opal mines, right? Don't say, anyway. We're straying.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about that.
Australia has opal mines, bro.
But
You can
so
go
he-
and they have tunneling like malls underground. It's dope.
Whoa, that's cool.
Opal mines. There's actually like signs everywhere. It says "Watch your step" because you'll legit fall into like a 30-foot cavern and land in someone's living room.
What?
Yeah, dude, it's dope.
What?
We'll talk
That's
about that
cool.
another time.
Okay, okay. So the last thing I had was that. So you think about like a baby, right? When a baby's gestating in the womb, it's just getting nutrients through the umbilical cord. It like pees and poops in there, but everything gets kind of absorbed back into the system and everything. obviously a joey is going to have to pee and poop in the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
um the walls of the pouch are absorbent of stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it does need to be cleaned out, and the mother gets in there with her head and gets her tongue and cleans it all out in there. And most of the time, the younger babies will stay latched to the nipple while this is going on,
Mm-hmm.
but ones that are gestated and are just in there nursing will hop out and
Yeah.
get it all cleaned up.
Wow, that is really wild.
Hmm.
What a disgusting animal.
It gets better.
Dude, I have seen some crazy stuff with kangaroos. I've always been a fan of kangaroos just because of the fact that their youngs are named Joey.
Yep.
So I've always
That's
had
fair.
like that weird thing with kangaroos I've always
Mhm.
enjoyed. And I've always loved watching them run or
That's
hop
so
or whatever.
crazy, dude.
It's so wild, man. What is their jump distance? Do you know?
No, I think it varies by species.
Yeah, okay. What are the 4 species?
I
Is
think
it
it's like
basically
I think it's like red kangaroo, gray kangaroo, like I don't know. I think it's just like colors or something.
Yeah. Red,
I don't
gray.
really know. I didn't. That stuff
Yeah.
wasn't very interesting to me, so I didn't write it down.
Yeah. No. No, we're trying to think of crazy stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's isn't
Okay.
like just kangaroos. It's like crazy shit about kangaroos.
All right. That's dope. It makes me want to listen. It makes me want to look at kangaroos a little bit more. Have you seen some of those like jacked ass kangaroos?
Dude, they're just yoked.
Bro, so jacked.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I showed somebody a picture like that's fake. I'm like, it's not though.
It's not, dude. They're super lean.
They're super
and
lean
They don't
and
carry a
thick.
lot of water. Like,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
wild.
they're just shredded, bro.
They're
Did you
shredded,
see
right?
the video of that guy punching the kangaroo in the face?
Dude, he came right out with the jab, bro.
Bruh, he was
With the
like,
one that was attacking his
"Bah."
dog, right?
Dude, he was like that. He gave him a 2-piece, didn't he?
He did, dude. Yeah.
Shh.
Talk. The
That was one of my
kangaroo
favorite
chilled out.
videos.
He
That
chilled,
kangaroo.
dude.
That kangaroo was like, okay.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. That's your dog.
I see you. I see you.
I got you. I see you. Wow.
Because
Cool.
the kangaroo will square up on you, man.
Yeah, kangaroos will box. Kangaroos will box.
Fuck shit up, man.
They'll grab you too, though, dude. If they get you in a Muay Thai clinch, dude.
Oh
it's a
yeah,
wrap,
throw
Jack.
a couple knees in
Don't
your
they?
chin.
Yeah, I think they have crazy claws too.
Yeah, they have
I
claws.
think
Yeah,
their
because they
toes-
dig.
Their toes have.
Because they dig to get to like cool dirt to lay in it and shit.
You
know.
like a turkey.
Yeah.
I think turkeys do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
See,
turkey
that's
was
the thing.
digging
You
a
got to
hole
think
by
about
my
it.
house.
What do you think a kangaroo evolved from? Like when you first started talking about it, and their hind legs and everything, and how they're mostly stand on their hind legs, I'm like,
Probably some kind of rodent.
some kind of rodent, right? It's got.
I mean, it looks like a lot of features are similar to like a rabbit or like a.
no
I mean,
tails. Rabbits don't have tails, really. Very short,
yeah,
stubby
that's
tails.
true.
Think
But
about
the
something, maybe a
jumping,
rat
the
or a
jumping
possum.
mechanism, you know, I don't know. Probably something that's long extinct.
It's
I
in
don't
the
know.
same family as a possum.
Yep,
Possums
marsupial.
are marsupials.
Mhm.
They're actually the only marsupials that are in America.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I saw one day. I was on my way to work early in the morning, probably 2 years ago now, and I saw a mama possum like walking along the side of the road with like 5 or 6 babies on her back. It was it was the cutest thing.
My wife absolutely despises possums.
They are
Hideous.
they're terrifying.
terrifying looking.
Well, they look kind of cute until they open their mouth, and then you're like, oh fuck, I do not want that thing anywhere near
Tell me you've seen that old lady that fucking had the posters out and says, anybody looking for their cat?
Oh yeah, it's
They're
kind of mean.
nice."
It's kind of mean. Yeah.
I think it's sad that misses its owner.
Yeah. It's kind of mean. Yeah, it was great.
All right.
Dude,
so
I saw
I'm
this
gonna
shit the other
guess-
day. Somebody and found a bear cub, some kind of bear, and thought it was a dog and brought it to a shelter. And they were like, this is not a dog. I mean, the picture, it like really looks like a big fluffy dog.
Oh,
Because
really?
a bear's face is very similar to a dog's
It's really
face,
dog, yeah. Mm-hmm.
just a lot bigger.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Jackie sent me a text message. Oh man, last year,
Mhm.
random time of night too. It was like right around this time of night where she could have just finished a hike with the boys.
Yeah.
She sends me a text message of a little baby coyote on her laundry on her washing machine, and was like, Joey, like, what kind of dog do you think this is? We were on the trail and we found it, and it was like sitting there crying, and it let the boys picked it up. I just couldn't, and I'm like, I said, you need to call the DEP
Right
now. I
Yeah.
said, or I'm coming over and I'm killing your quote family dog. I said, Jackie, I said, absolutely not. I said, dude, that's a coyote.
She pranked the
That's a
shit out of you,
coyote,
didn't she?
baby. Dude, she got me.
She
So
know.
good, bro.
She knows you,
Because
dude.
at first she's like, no, I don't think it is. I think it's just a mutt. You know, I heard somebody might have lost it. Dude, she had me going for a good like 15 minutes.
That's
dude.
great.
And I called her right up. I said, Jackie. And she was like, dude, what's even if it is? Like, what's the big deal? And I'm like, and then she was like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? I know it's a coyote. And I'm like, bitch.
Oh, did she actually have it, or was it just a picture?
Oh, it was just a picture
Oh,
she
okay.
found online screwing with me.
That's what I thought. I was gonna say
Yeah.
first.
Totally trolling, dude.
That's great.
All right, I'm gonna guess.
We
Are
already.
we also going aquatic?
Yes. You already know we're doing platypus. Do you want to just get onto that?
Yeah, but I'm not counting that as the aquatic.
No, I wasn't either.
Okay, good. Nice. I think I
All
got
right.
the aquatic. You go ahead.
So we'll do platypus next.
Mm.
I'm sure you do have the aquatic.
Platypus lay eggs, right?
They
lay
do.
eggs.
Yep, they are.
They have fur. They have webbed feet,
Mm-hmm.
and they also have a duck bill,
Correct, and
a beaver tail.
sort of. Their tail
Sort
has
of.
fur on it.
It has fur. It's not leathery like a beaver tail.
No, I don't believe it is,
Okay.
but it is shaped very similar.
And they also live in Australia exclusively.
I believe that's correct. Yes,
And they also have a poisonous barb as well.
they do. They do.
Yeah.
So
okay.
all right. So yeah.
So
So
they
Joe
are
basically
God's joke
described
to the planet.
right or
Yeah.
a drunken night in the animal creation lab or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, oh my God, I swear to God, you won't do it. I bet you won't. Did you see what he did last night? Guys, I gotta go.
Wait, did you open the door after I made that? Did one get out?
Dude, that was totally a joke. I hit random. I hit
Yeah,
random.
I hit
Random. I didn't hit enter.
I
Did you
hit-
hit enter?
I hit the random generator. Did you send that out?
You sent that
Oh,
out?
just to Australia? Oh no, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh, it's
Just
fine.
leave
It's
it.
no
That's
big
where
deal.
we put
Nobody's
all the
there.
weird
Nobody's
shit.
there yet.
We
Nobody's
put
there
all
yet.
we put all the crazy shit there.
Yeah, we
Nobody's
put all the
supposed to.
visitors there
Wait,
anyway.
you put people there too?
Wait, there's people there?
Ah, fuck.
What kind of people, though?
Brown ones. Brown
Oh.
ones.
As long as they whistle through a long stick, it's fine.
Yeah. They're super chill people. They'll be fine with it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So,
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So the platypus, you basically described it. Was initially thought to be a myth. I think it's worth mentioning. When people first started describing them in like nature books, people were like, "Yeah, that's not. It's impossible."
like a Bigfoot?
Like a Bigfoot. Don't you go straying down that path now, Joe.
Jake, I'm always on that path. I stray to come talk to you.
Okay, so the platypus is an aquatic marsupial sort of thing. Well, no, they're not they're I thought they had a
They're
pouch.
mammal.
I thought they had a pouch when I started reading this. They do not have a pouch.
Yeah, but they're a mammal, aren't they?
They're a mammal that lays eggs. So basically the current line of thinking is that they're actually like kind of like they got stuck in evolution or something, like because we evolved also. They're what's called a monotreme. So like they only have one hole at their back end that they like poop. Yeah, monotreme means
like
one,
birds.
like a bird, like a lizard. They have
Bird,
one hole
lizards.
that they do their
hole
mating,
to do everything.
pooping, whatever.
Yeah.
And we evolved from monotremes as well.
Fish are
But
like that too, I think.
yes,
Fish are like that. Fish,
Yes.
bird, yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Monotreme?
monotreme, Treme. Yep,
Monotreme.
monotreme.
Okay.
But yes, they lay eggs, which is no other mammals do that,
Yeah, that we know
which
of.
is super weird. Yeah, that we know of, right? Maybe Bigfoot lays eggs.
If you fucking say something sacrilegious like that again, I swear. I'm sorry, I swore.
Bigfoot
doing
is
really
not a
good.
joke. Not a joke.
Joke.
Okay, so platypus lay eggs,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy in itself. I don't know if there's anything special about the eggs that's different from like a bird egg or a lizard egg. I think it's pretty much the same. Like it's set up just like a regular egg.
Okay.
When they hatch, the platypus mother does not have nipples, but they nurse.
I don't like where this is going.
No, it is not.
Okay.
We're not going back to the hole again.
Okay, good.
We're not going back to the single.
Because all of a sudden I'm like, yo, fuck monotremes, dude.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
um, so the way it works,
Kangaroos just lost the grossest fucking animal contest if that was the case.
though. Yeah. Right. So what
I just swore
happens
3
is
times.
they have mammary glands under the skin, and instead of the mammary glands all funneling to a nipple, the mammary glands just go right to the skin, and the skin secretes the milk right onto the fur, and the young just lick the fur
Lick
up.
the fur.
Yep. Just lick it right up.
What? That was definitely the random button. Somebody definitely pushed the random button, dude. On that.
Oh, I forgot one of the craziest facts about kangaroos. Rewind for a second. It's related to what we just said. Kangaroo babies cannot suckle. They don't have the mechanism in their mouth to suckle. So when they latch onto the nipple, the mother kangaroo
Nipple
squeezes
muscles?
muscles and squeezes milk into their mouth.
Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
really crazy.
Real crazy. Again, this is kangaroos.
Wow.
I should have
That's
actually read
nuts.
my notes.
That's wild. That is something else. That's really
Yeah, they
different.
can't actually suck
They
the
can't
milk
actually
out.
suck.
The mother
They-
squeezes it out. So she's like, tiny
so
one.
think of the muscle.
Yeah,
Well, think about the muscle groups that are in her in her mammary glands, Jake. That would probably are another contributing factor of why she's able to produce the multiple milks.
maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe she keeps certain. I don't know. I'm not even gonna start to speculate on. My
Yeah, maybe.
crazy
I don't
brain.
know. I don't know. I don't know much about that. But anyway, so yeah, so the kangaroo squeezes the milk out of the nipple. The platypus has no nipples
Secretes
and
it.
secretes it out through the skin. So my assumption, because like on other nursing animals, they suck the milk out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kangaroo pushes the milk out, but the platypus, there's no pushing or sucking happening, as far as I know. Is it just coming out all the time? And then the other question is, they live in the water. Like, this probably can only happen on land, otherwise the water would wash it away.
I bet you their fur,
Like
or
in a
hair
den?
or something like that. Now it's probably has some kind of hollowness to it that can hold it, and it's you know what I mean.
I don't know.
Think
Maybe.
about an animal that gets predatory.
Well, it probably only happens on land though,
Europe.
on land, because I'm pretty sure they lay their eggs on land. They don't lay their eggs in water.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah,
I
they
think they have
probably
a
take
den
their
like a
son-
beaver,
Yeah, they have
you know
a
what I
den like a
mean?
beaver.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense because their young's not going to go start swimming around yet.
No.
Yeah, and even if that's the case, they probably just produce it when they need to.
Yeah, I think so. They probably
You know
do.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because women will lactate randomly, but obviously they will so much more if something's on it,
Right.
and they need to feed their baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. So let's see. We got the nursing, the babies. So check this out. Platypus has no stomach. Their throat goes directly to their intestines, which is another weird primitive animal thing. Like, a stomach is like kind of late in the evolutionary path of animals. Like, it was like food hole, butthole, and all this stuff happens in between, and the stomach is like kind of a rather new evolutionary trait because it's like a pocket where there's all this extra acid that helps break stuff down. Platypus don't have that. They swallow stuff and it goes into their intestines and the nutrients start to get broken out of it that way. Yeah, pretty crazy. They also don't have it's a different thing. I'm getting this mixed up with something else. Yeah. I think they just eat algae and shit, like plants, water plants, stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay, yeah. So they don't. All right, so they're
Yeah, they're
mostly-
not eating like meat or
They're
anything.
herbivores. They're herbivores.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
So-
I did not know.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy that they just,
They don't have.
Wait a minute. Wait. Pause. I might have to have you do some real quick Googling to clarify something, because their duck-like bill
Yeah.
has sensors for detecting electric fields. So that would only be useful if they were carnivores. Can you look up what a platypus eats, please? Because if they detect electric fields with their bill right next to their mouth, then they're looking for shit to eat, like 100%. And they're not going to find plants with that. So Joe, I'm just having Joe look up what
Yeah, I'm curious to know what
what they eat.
platypuses eat. What do platypus eat? Platypus spends an average of 12 hours every day searching for food. A platypus is a carnivore. Its
Okay.
diet consists of mainly shrimp, crayfish, insects, larvae, and worms. As discussed, adaptation. Okay, so no, they're carnivores.
Wow.
They're carnivores.
So that makes it even crazier that they don't have a stomach. So they're having to digest all kinds of shit.
Well, enzymes in meats and stuff like that. Our saliva, Jake, our saliva
Begins to digest stuff right
is
in our mouth.
actually a meat. Yeah, because this is one of the things too, and I read up on this when my kid was born, and I started realizing like his rashes that he would get because of when a kid teeths and everything like that.
They
the
get their
extra amount of
saliva everywhere.
Dude, they drool like crazy. And Jackie was like, dude, put a bib on your kid. And I'm like, well, no, he's not that messy. She goes, it's not the point. She goes, he's drooling like crazy.
He's digesting
gonna
his own
land on
skin
his
with his
chest.
saliva.
She goes, and
What?
especially such a young kid, everything is peaked. Everything
It's
is pumping
bacteria
out.
too.
Bacteria,
Yeah,
it's
it's
developing,
enzymes,
everything like that. So
bacteria.
everything is there to try to survive. So it's the enzymes can be even stronger than
Wow.
others. She goes, so I said, yeah, because I do. She was like, you notice his chest is red. I said, yeah. She goes, yeah, he's eating himself.
What?
So if you think about it in that aspect, think about what our stomachs are, and it's just encased with the stomach acids that break down the foods. Our intestines are still doing that.
Right.
Dude, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
happy
you're
we
yeah,
Googled
but you,
that.
yeah,
Imagine
but
if
we
just thought,
chew,
oh, yeah, they're
but we
omnivores.
chew stuff up,
Right.
and then it goes into our stomach that's full of hydrochloric acid, and that breaks stuff down. And then when it hits our intestine, it's already a mush. It's already like a homogeneous mush. And then it's all soft and broken down into even smaller, molecular compounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bacteria in your gut pull stuff apart into even smaller molecules and whatnot.
Okay.
The reason I'm confused by this is because they're eating like shells and bones and shit. They're just sucking shit up. You know what I mean?
How
They're
do
not
they
cutting shit
digest
off the
their
bone
food?
like we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not ripping.
Like
and
if they're
tearing
eating a
like we do.
crayfish, they have to digest the shell. And if they don't have a stomach full of acid like we do, then where
How
is
are
that
they
shell
gonna do
getting
that?
broken? Like maybe their digestion's just really slow, like a snake. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
a
this is the
snake
thing,
eats like a
that
whole
it-
thing, and then over a week, a snake is like digesting all the shit that they ate: fur, bones, cartilage, everything. You know what I mean? That's why I'm confused about it. What does it say?
Platypus doesn't really have a stomach. Instead, it's instead of a separate pouch where food collects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it connects to the intestine. That is insane.
So maybe the
But how does it
intestine.
digest its food?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
It's got to be the enzymes that are in its intestines alone, because isn't our stomach or isn't our don't our well how can I even
Our stomach is mainly acid, and then the bacteria, and it's mainly acid and enzymes, and the bacteria lives in your gut.
in our gut.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean there's bacteria in your stomach too, but I think it's mainly the acid that's doing the job, because
Yeah, I'm
hydrochloric
not-
acid breaks down organic compounds really well. It shreds molecules apart into smaller, or shreds
like to start-
chemicals into
Yeah.
into molecules.
Right. I would like to start reading all this, but I'm not going to sit here and just read this. That's fucking insane. That's something that I want to read. Well, you know what? Yet another animal that I want to dig into deeper when I have
Yeah,
the
man.
chance. That's
Um,
extremely wild.
Yeah, really, really wild.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that they have venomous spurs, which I think is worth
Yeah.
bringing up again. Kind of fucking crazy on their
It's on their
so their
back, their
hands, so their paws are crazy too. I think it is. I don't know if it's just on their rear or on all four, but they do have like
By
webbed
far,
claws.
the rear.
And I read too that the webbing between their claws is retractable, so they can kind of pull it back to expose their claws more.
Really?
Yeah, whereas a cat, they can pull their claws back. It's kind of the opposite for them. They can pull the webbing back to have more
They can
kind
pull
of
the webbing
grabby,
back.
like crawly, diggy kind of, shape.
The platypus spines are definitely just the rear.
Okay. And yeah, it's like a
It's
hollow
just the
tube
rear.
that leads to a
a hollow
gland,
tube that
similar
leads
to
to
like
a
a fang or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy, and that's just a defensive thing that they have.
Yes, 100%. Platypus venom is one of the
And
few
it'll
living-
fuck you up, right? I'm pretty sure it'll fuck you up.
I would assume so, dude. It's venom.
Yeah, right.
Venom is the only seasonal active during breeding season, supporting the theory that the use of the venom is competitive for mates of mates only, not protection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, while the spur remains available for defense outside of the breeding season, the platypus venom glands lack secretion. While the effects are described as excruciatingly painful, this venom is not lethal to humans.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think it was lethal, but I thought it, probably hurts a lot. So it's what, for like males battling other males? For
Males battling other males, yeah. Many archaic mammal groups possess similar tarsal spurs. Yep. So it was thought that rather than having developed the characteristics uniquely, the platypus simply inherited the venom from a distant ancestor, rather than being a unique outlier.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is a very, very wow, dude. I'm pissed that I didn't know about this sooner, man. I would have loved reading all this shit.
Well, that's the whole point, man.
That's the whole point. We're bringing shit up, man.
I'm learning you real good tonight.
That's good. I like it.
So their tail, we brought their tail up. It's not quite like a beaver's tail, but they do use it kind of similarly. They swim with it. I think they kind of do some matting of ground, the ground with it if they need to. But I thought it was really cool.
And stuff like
that. What I thought was really interesting though was that they store extra fat in their tail.
In the tail. So how the hell are they pulling that off?
In the case of like food shortage, they digest that instead.
They digest that instead.
So they don't starve. Pretty cool, huh?
That's extremely cool.
Yeah.
That's extremely cool.
Yeah.
They used to be giant. I've also just found this.
Yeah, I read that too, but I was like, a lot of things used to be giant, but I didn't find
everything
that
used to be
particularly
much bigger when their oxygen levels were much, much higher.
Like bears, those giant bears, the short-faced bear. You know about that, right? Bro.
I actually looked that up one day.
Yeah.
And I was reading into it and everything like that, and then I was at work at the time. And I looked into it and I had all this stuff. No. I read all about this. And then I went to work because I didn't have a tape measure at my house and a ceiling high enough for me to stand on my couch and measure it out. So I went to work, stood on the counter and measured it out, bro. Dude, me, 6'4", was on a 4-foot counter and still had to reach. And I'm like,
that's how big the short-faced bear was. Standing.
14 feet tall on average. Jake, they say that their brown bears right now, Kodiak brown bears and everything like that, dude, are 11 feet, 11 and a half feet.
Dude, they're
twice the size of me, dude. 1,100, 1,200 pounds, Jake, with a fucking mouth on it. That's probably wide enough like this.
Yeah, dude. Just bite half your body off.
Claws this wide.
Pause, you mean?
Paws.
Their paws are that
paws.
Yeah.
With claws.
Right. Yeah. Dude, no,
they're paw claws. I'm sorry, they're paw claws.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely insane. Well, dude, what about like giant sloths?
Yeah, those are pretty
giant
big
too.
But they're like not, I'm sure they would fuck you up if they wanted to, but they're not.
Dude, there's some people out there, dude, that think that those things still exist down south. In Brazil or in the Amazon and everything like that. They think that the possibility of a giant sloth still exists because they found remains that were only up to 10,000 years old. That's when the short-faced bear was around.
Wow.
11,000, 12,000 years ago.
Fuck. That'd be wild.
I think anything's possible. It would explain Bigfoot sightings.
Sure, dude. Yeah, why not?
You know what I mean? Especially something that moves slowly like a sloth might. I don't know what the giant ones did. Anyway, we're getting off platypuses, and I'm interested.
That's right. I don't have anything else on them anyway.
All right.
Do you have a guess at another animal?
Mantis shrimp.
No.
Okay.
No. We could talk about them.
You don't need to. Whatever. They're dope.
They're cool. Dope.
Watched a couple videos of him smashing people's aquariums lately. But this dude was like trying to get him to do it, dude. He was like trying. I'm like, that's messed up, man. That's your pet, dude, and you're gonna make it slam in a glass. Like you're a jerk.
Yeah.
That's not cool. All right.
So we might as well talk about them, dude, because they're pretty crazy.
If anybody doesn't know what they are, they're a shrimp.
They're big. They get real big though. They get big.
Oh yeah, mantis shrimp can get big.
They're not exactly a shrimp though. They're kind of like a shrimp.
They're a crustacean.
Yeah, they're a crustacean. Right.
They're a crustacean.
But the crazy thing you're talking about is their ability to create like a sonic boom underwater with their claws.
They will literally vaporize the water around
the impact point.
Their hammer, I guess. What is it called?
Yeah, like their hammer claw.
But
it builds up and Oh, it
It
goes. Oh yeah,
doesn't
it
go
goes
that
out.
way.
You're right. It snaps
It comes,
outward.
it's like this, and I can't remember how somebody described it. It was a perfect way to have described it, but it's basically, oh, it's like flicking,
Yeah, like
flicking
flicks
something.
outward,
'Cause
but
if you
it's
could,
not
if you
hooked
could,
on anything. It's like a
it's not
muscle
hooked.
that
It's literally
that
just,
builds up pressure and then snaps outward.
yeah, it's just like,
And
bah.
they normally don't whack stuff with it, do they? It's like
No,
they
they
just
will.
get
Oh no,
because
they
they don't
use it
have.
to smash. You know, they use it to like smash crab shells and stuff like that, and clam shells. They use it to break into things. They'll also use it to like, an ability, or what the hell, ability, immobilize. What was the word I'm trying to say right there? Inability. It's not. It's not the word I'm looking for.
They remove the mobility.
Yeah. So what is the word that I wanted to just say?
Stun.
Immobilize.
They want
Stun.
stun is the word.
You're looking too big, Joe. You're a four-letter word kind of guy.
You're way up here. You just need to be down here. It's
You
fine.
need to be- No.
I know you
am
want to
way
look
down
real
here.
smart.
I'm trying to
'Cause
be
we're
up
up.
here, and I'm not.
Yeah, so the mantis shrimp will immobilize or stun its prey by snapping outward to this, claw thingy, and
It looks like a microphone almost.
yeah,
looks
it does.
like
You're right.
a
Yeah,
microphone.
or like a
It's
hand with a
hard,
boxing glove
like,
on it.
ball.
Like and they move it so fast that it vaporizes the water just right in front of it, and that change from liquid to gas so quick creates this shock wave that like fucks anything up, and if people have them as a pet, can, under the right circumstances, if it's big enough, break your aquarium glass.
Break your aquarium glass. Yeah, those are dope. Those
Yeah,
are dope.
they are really crazy, and they like dig a den underwater, like, or under the sand too. Like they'll make a little hole to live in and shit. And there are fish that will live symbiotically with them too, to like guard the entrance of the hole. Yeah, like certain kind of gobies and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty neat.
All right. Okay. So mantis shrimp isn't your aquatic. I'm gonna
No,
give
it's
you
not.
three-
But
I'm gonna do
you
three
didn't
guesses.
even talk about the mantis shrimp's eyes, dude.
Oh yeah, aren't they the most evolved eyes on the planet?
Dude,
Right? Aren't they
I
the
don't
most,
know
like,
the
evolved?
details, but like you and I have 3 sets of rods.
Cones or rods? Yeah.
We have
yeah.
rods and cones, ones that pick up light or lack of, and ones that pick up color. So we have red, green, and blue. I think red, green, and blue.
Yeah.
Cones.
Primary colors, dude.
Yeah. So we have 3 different color cones. That's the point. And then different combinations put different signals to our brain, so we see different colors. They have like 7 different kinds of cones or something, which means that different combinations they can see like an insane different.
Ultraviolet.
It's not right. They can see just outside of the spectrum that we can see, but the key is they can see more differences in color. Like I think that they can actually see ultraviolet, but the important part is that like if I showed you. Like if I showed you a green and changed it by like one tiny little amount, like an amount that would be
Green's a bad
indiscernible-
example for that.
Whatever. The point is, if I showed you a color and I changed it incrementally, you probably wouldn't notice, but a mantis shrimp
Right.
could notice.
Would notice.
Yeah.
Do you know why I said that green's a bad color for you to use as an example?
No.
Because human beings have the ability to decipher different shades of green more so than any other color.
Oh, right. True. That's a good point.
All right, and you know why, right?
For ripeness of fruit and whatnot.
Well, and it's the color that we see most in nature that we were
Right.
we were,
Yeah. True.
evolved
True.
with around the most. Yep. Yeah, that is dope.
So that
Okay.
wasn't my aquatic one.
That wasn't your aquatic. I'm gonna guess octopus now.
No. Nope.
Son
That
of
would
a
have been
bitch.
good. That would have been good. Do you know enough to talk about an octopus?
I know a little bit about an octopus.
Okay. Let's have at
I've
it.
also told, like one of the octopus are not as predatory as a lot of people think, and octopus are actually known to be one of the #1 food sources for the vast majority of aquatic life. Octopus are
Really?
like fucking prey all day.
Wow.
Yeah, you would think octopus are very much so like more. So, they are predatory animals.
Well, yeah,
They are-
man. I mean, if you think about it, like they absolutely are. So I guess maybe that's part of the reason they're so crazy evolved is because they have to both be really good at hunting and really good at getting away
Innovation.
from really good hunters.
Exactly. Think about
Yeah.
the camouflage that some octopus have the ability to do.
The camouflage is insane, dude.
Yeah, we're not going to get into specific octopus.
No, but but in general, octopus can change the texture of their skin
Texture of their
and
skin
color
and
within like a couple millimeters, like different colors.
like that too.
Yeah, like that.
Like a cuttlefish,
Cuttlefish also, yep. Also,
right?
yep.
Cuttlefish, right? Okay.
Mhm. Not the same thing, but very similar.
Well, cuttlefish don't have. Well, shades. You're talking about the
Cuttlefish,
ability to change.
certain squid, and octopus all have the ability to do that. Change their skin color with chromatophores.
Chromatophores.
Yes.
Bitch, I'm so happy you remembered it because I'm like, dude.
I didn't even give you the chance to go. What are they called? What are they called?
And it's basically the easiest way for people to understand this. It's like your pupil dilating with light.
Exactly.
Except it is absolutely
It's a packet of color that they can squeeze or expand to make different other color combinations.
exactly.
Basically.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
and where
How they do it, I don't have a fucking clue because
I
they're
have
too
not the
small to
slightest.
have muscles involved.
another thing that anybody interested can look up for themselves.
Yeah.
Also,
We should do a podcast about color and bring that up again because color in
Yeah,
general,
dude,
there's a lot of
it's
really cool
cool.
things we could talk about involving color.
I also was listening to this thing about with this hunter that was talking about how when people like go after octopus because it's they'll use it for bait and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to dispatch an octopus is to bite it in the head.
What?
Like legitimate hunters out there because octopus and squids and stuff like that. Like
You
we
mean
go
to
fishing
kill
and
it? To
everything
kill
like
it
that.
quickly?
I'm talking about killing it quickly.
Like if
and-
you catch
and most
one, you need to throw it in a bag to go get another octopus. You bite it on the head to kill
bite
it.
it on the head, right? That's what I said. I'm like, wait, what? And
Well,
I
is
still
that
haven't
even its
looked it up.
head really, or it's just a top part of its body?
It's
Do
the
they
top
have
part
a
of
head?
its body.
They
I
don't really
mean.
have a head, right?
Oh,
They have
100% have a
arms.
head.
Well, because they have eyes and a mouth, but the back part is like where organs and stuff live, isn't it? Like it's not really their
Right,
head.
but maybe you're severing the connection from said eyes, and there's got to be a spot where the
There's
brain
something
is close to the
important
eyes.
in there.
Normally, development of eyes are the closest thing to the brain. Your eyes are one of the first things to develop after your brain does, doesn't it? Aren't they? Like one of the first organs besides your brain, your eyes. I think. Pretty sure.
I don't know. The
Doesn't
heart,
matter.
I know the heart is very
Regardless,
early.
fun, interesting fact. I can look into another
Sure.
thing to delve into
Sure.
someday when we find out. But yeah, I heard
Interesting.
that recently.
Bite it on the head.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Octopus also have a specific tentacle, male ones specifically that they use for breeding.
Yeah,
I
a
know
dick
that.
tentacle.
Their dick tentacle. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. The
Mhm.
dicticle.
Can you pick it out by visual, or you have to see them trying to go at it?
Yeah, I
with
would
it to
assume the
know?
one that you see him putting into the female.
Yeah, I know, but if you don't see them
don't
do
know, I
that,
don't.
yeah,
I have no idea. I really do. I have
it's
no
a little more.
idea.
It's a little more veiny than the rest of
A
them.
little more. It's more veiny. It's the one that curves slightly to the left.
It's the one that comes off from between the balls.
Yeah, it's obvious. Got a weird head on the top. I don't know.
It's the one that'll get real stiff if you show it to Playboy to it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Moving on.
we're 47 minutes in, and I've only gotten through 2 of my 5 animals.
That's great. Fantastic.
So I have 3 more.
Tell me that you recorded and set up the video feed and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're
or
good.
we
We're good. We're good.
That would have been fun.
So I have 3 more. One of them I have as much written as the other 2 combined. So maybe I should just do that one.
I want you to. What is your aquatic? I need to know what don't. Well,
That's the one that I have the most about.
the dolphins.
It's not dolphins, no.
Son of a bitch. Is it a man? What is? What?
I actually have 2 more aquatic ones. I'll run through the other 2 I have.
Anglerfish.
Yes, anglerfish.
Boom! Only 5 guesses.
That's it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was.
I think it was. I think it was
my
5.
third guess.
Well, yeah, because you did guess.
Mantis shrimp, and then a octopus.
Yeah, and you did
Right?
guess platypus, but you're like that wasn't my aquatic guess.
That
And it
wasn't my
and it
aquatic
was
guess.
right. So I don't
Exactly.
think it
So
counts
I
as a
really
guess.
third time's a charm, baby. Let's do
Fair-
it.
fair
The
enough.
anglerfish.
I don't feel the
Can
need
I-
to take that away from you.
All
Bad
right.
enough
So
to
can
argue.
I say what I know of anglerfish?
You
or
want to
would
go right to
rather I
anglerfish,
know?
or should I bang through my other 2 real quick because I don't have a ton about them?
Let's bang through the other ones. Let's see what
bang
they
through
got
the
for
other
us.
All right, so one of them is the pangolin.
I'm sorry. God bless you.
Thank you. Moving on.
The pangolin?
Pangolin.
Pangolin. I'm looking this up as you tell me stuff.
So think of like an aardvark or like a.
Oh, those are dope.
Yeah,
I want one.
So the
Those are
pangolin,
baby dragons.
sort of, yeah. They're covered in scales, keratin scales. So they basically have armor on their entire top
Every
half.
single
Their
bit
whole their whole thing is covered in like actually fairly large compared to their body.
Absolutely.
I would wager to say that their body probably only has like what, maybe 600 or 700 total scales on it, something like that.
Dude, I can believe that. Oh my god.
Because they're big. Their scales are big.
You would totally. Oh my god.
Maybe less than that. Maybe like 300, 400.
They're adorable. Here, you keep talking. I'm gonna count. Ready?
So so they have very large scales that are made up of a similar thing to what your fingernails are made out of, keratin.
Yeah.
And the reason for these scales is because when they are being attacked or need to go into a defensive pose, they roll up into a ball, a tight ball, that their head rolls in and their tail rolls up over it, and they're just covered in these scales. And you can actually shoot them with a gun, and it'll bounce right off. I'm just kidding. I made that up. But I don't. They're probably pretty hard. The scales are probably.
I would think that you're not going to be able to shoot those. At 22 might ricochet off at the right angle.
Depends on how thick they are. I don't know. Or
Why
it might
am
just
I
get
seeing
lodged
so
in
much
it.
stuff about poachers killing them?
I don't. I read stuff about poachers too, but it wasn't interesting to me, so I didn't. write
They
it down.
are adorable. Do you know
Yeah,
how many
they're
different
really
types
cool.
of pangolins there are?
3,
8.
8. Figured
Yeah.
it was a low number. So
Yeah.
yeah, they roll into
Oh,
a
that was a
ball.
total guess?
Yeah, mine was a guess. Yeah.
Oh,
Was
okay,
yours a
cool.
guess?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, if it's either a guess or that's what I thought was the truth.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Either way,
Moving
it's
on.
not 3. Yeah, so they're covered in the scales. They eat ants because their body is very similar to like an anteater.
It does look like it. It seems
Yeah,
like it's
It's like
almost
an anteater
like
covered in scales.
an anteater. I think the vast majority of people, especially in this country, would look at a pangolin and think that it was an armadillo.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But the pangolin, I think, is fully covered in scales. I don't think an armadillo is fully covered.
Armadillo's not. It has like a rat tail and it has a furry belly.
Yeah.
Do you remember almost catching
In Florida?
armadillo in Florida?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
That
do.
was dope.
Yeah, that was
That was
really
dope.
cool.
That was big.
Yeah.
That thing was big.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I think
We coulda
were-
got
we were
it, but
probably
I got
pretty
freaked
drunk,
out.
too.
Yeah.
I feel like we were drunk that entire time.
We were definitely drunk the entire time. A pangolin's stomach is actually skin. The
Okay, hold on.
yeah, go.
Yes. So they don't have teeth.
Just a long tongue.
So they swallow, they eat ants. They can eat up to 20,000 ants a day. They don't have teeth, and what they do is they have in their stomach is lined with spikes made of keratin, just like their scales, and
Okay.
they will swallow stones, similar to like what a vulture does
What a
to
vulture
grind up
does,
their food
yeah.
in their stomach. Yeah, pretty neat.
That's dope.
That's a
That's
crazy
real
thing
dope.
to me. Like, is that not tool use when you, or does it happen by accident? Like you're eating some ants, you're gonna eat a couple little rocks too. They're gonna get in there, and just evolution allowed it because it's not fucking your body up. Like, it's not keeping you from getting to breeding age. So it's like, I don't know. It's a weird. It's a
Well, the thing
difficult,
is, I would think a
difficult
lot of
evolution
times when something-
conversation
That's
again.
kind of like, what's that?
I said it's getting down that path of explaining evolution again that we do every other time we're on here.
Well, my thought is too, though, is a lot of times you think about it, you build up an immunity to certain things. Your stomach lining must harden in a way. For
Well, it's
something like
covered in
that
spikes
where
of keratin, so I think it can handle a few rocks tumbling around in there.
its stomach is.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, their stomach has keratin spikes in it, and then that combined with swallowing rocks, it grinds the ants up. I don't know if it helps digest, but it helps grind them up, which I guess is part of the digestion
Part of
process.
digestion.
Is
Dude.
the
It's no different than us
grinding.
chewing food.
Right. Well, just chewing food involves our saliva, which is full of, as we just said, enzymes and bacteria.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if chewing technically is part of the digestion process, but saliva is.
Is right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely insane and ridiculous that it does that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find a picture of a pangolin's stomach, but all I'm finding is very morbid pictures that I don't want to look at anymore.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on.
Cool.
All right, give me some other penguins.
I don't.
Oh my
I don't.
God,
I
where
don't.
are these things?
I don't know. I don't remember. South America, maybe. South America sounds right.
Seems like the amount of species that I actually saw. There was 8 of them. There was quite a bit. I believe I saw a Malaysian pangolin. I believe
Yeah,
I
could
also
be.
saw a Chinese pangolin.
Okay,
There is a
so
Cape
they're on the other
pangolin,
continent.
white-bellied. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else on them.
No. Okay.
I had
That's
four
that is
bullet points.
legitimately all you have on
That's all I got.
penguins.
That's all I got.
Okay. I got you. They are widespread in Africa. The vast majority of Africa. They're also, it looks like, in China.
Okay.
Some parts of Russia down into the Philippines.
So they're on that continent, or on
They're on
the
that
African,
continent. They are
Asian,
nowhere
European
near
continent.
us at all. It's mostly Africa. They look like they are mostly in Africa. There's a lot of them that are, China, the Philippines,
Okay.
that area. Yeah, it's not a. Damn it, son of a bitch! I got ants in my house. Why can't I have a pangolin? I'm gonna look at pangolin purchasing. No.
Import pangolin import.
What do you do, Joe? I actually breed pangolins.
What's that?
I thought penguins were only in Antarctica. You're an idiot, sir. Anyway, okay. So penguin.
You
was
just
one thing
made
I
a
was very
bad
cool.
joke to be able to call a fictional person an idiot.
An idiot. Yeah.
That's weird. There's levels to the humor that you just showed.
Yeah. Why? I
It's
make
just weird.
fake people up constantly.
You made a fake person up just to be able to make fun of that fake person.
Yeah. Well, I think I
You're
was
not having
maybe
a good
more so
week, are
playing
you?
a character. Maybe more so playing a good character. Like I was playing a character.
You played both characters.
The person yeah, exactly. The person asked me what I do for work, and I say I breed pangolins, and they said penguins are in art. Listen, dude. You can
I
look
followed
into
it.
this
I
any
followed
way you
it.
want. I'm sure you and my wife would love to sit down and talk about the psychology of me. I don't. Okay, moving on. Fuck pangolins.
Anyway, so that's all I got on them. The other one that I don't have a whole lot on, but I think they're worth mentioning, is the axolotl.
Axolotl, isn't it? Oh no, that's an atlatl. I'm like axolotl is what you hunt
It's
things
a
with,
weapon.
but no, it's an atlatl.
The axolotl is an amphibian. It basically looks like a salamander with like frills.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we
I've
brought
seen
them. We
this.
brought
Yes,
them
I've
up in
seen
our
that.
caves. I think we brought them in our
Yeah,
caves.
these things are like immortal, aren't they?
Don't think that they
They
particularly
have the belief
are.
that this thing can hold the potential to save lives forever. They regenerate themselves.
They regenerate themselves, but they're not immortal. They live up to like 15 years. They're not.
But oh wait, no. Wait,
But
no.
they can regenerate. Well, here's why you're thinking of this: is because they could regenerate limbs, including cartilage, which is they don't have bones. They can regenerate their spine and even their brain without any scarring.
Right, that's insane.
So you could like step on a axolotl's head, and if you don't like actually kill it,
Kill it.
it can regenerate its brain that you damaged. If you don't fuck the whole thing up too bad.
Those things legitimately look like aliens.
They really do, but they're really they kind of just look like a salamander, but they
look
have
like
gills on
salamander
the
with
outside.
Frills, like frills. Off
Yeah, it's their external gills.
Mm-hmm.
So they breathe. They breathe through their gills underwater, just like a fish.
Yeah.
But they can also get oxygen through their skin, the same way
Okay.
like some frogs can,
Mm-hmm.
because they're an amphibian.
They're
But
amphibian.
some of them, like if you took one and you put it, I think at a certain point in its life, I don't know if it can always do this throughout its life or what, but if you put it in an area where it can't spend all its time underwater, where it kind of is forced to come out of water,
Mhm.
they have primitive lungs. And they don't ever use them if they spend their whole life underwater, but if they end up having to spend some of their life out of water, their lungs will develop and they can gulp air to breathe.
So you're telling me this is a living animal that can legitimately evolve within its own lifetime?
I don't know so much that it evolves, but it makes use of things that are underdeveloped on it.
That's that's crazy.
It's got to be tied to the regeneration thing, you know?
Well, think about it.
There's
What
got to be
other
some link
animal-
there between them being able to regenerate parts of their body, like without scarring, and the fact that they can use
because if you think about
they
it,
can
like-
develop their own underdeveloped lungs if they need to. I don't know how
Yeah,
much time it
because-
takes. Like it's not like in the day, but I think it like they'll put two, like, because they can breathe through their
It's gotta
skin
be-
as well.
Yeah, but it's got to be relatively quick if they're able to gulp air and they're out of the water.
Yeah.
That's got to be a relatively quick thing. So you got to think about it too, man. Are their lungs just like deflated and they have to like?
I don't
start
think
to
so.
breathe?
Well, I don't think like if you took one and like put it on land, I think it would probably die. But if you took one and put it in an environment that
Where it
was
can be
that it
on
had to come
land.
out of the water to like eat, maybe
Mm.
it might start to develop those lungs, so it could not have to like hold its breath to come out of the water and go back in.
I can't tell you how excited I am about this podcast just for the fact that it makes me want to look up so much stuff. This is the first time in a long time that we've done this where I've been like, wow, man, I need to like I need
Great.
to look into this.
That's
I need
awesome.
to, like really check this out, dude.
Cool. Yeah, Jackie and the kids
dope.
are gonna have a lot to look up too
I
if they
know,
don't
and I
already
tried
know.
so hard not to swear, and I did like 4 times.
I
so I'm
wouldn't. Well,
sorry,
I
Johnny.
don't think. Just so you know, I don't think she listens to the podcast with the kids. I think that
No,
she
I know
listens
she
to
doesn't.
it and she tells stuff to them.
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all I have on them.
Axolotl.
Axolotl. Yeah, and they're only in one
Axolotl?
place. They're only in one part of Mexico, and that's it. Nowhere else in the world.
And what was the other one called?
The pangolin.
Pangolin.
Mhm. Yep. So they don't have weird names or anything, so it should be pretty easy to remember them.
Yeah, yeah. right. And the kangaroo.
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 Okay, so that's all I have on those, and the final,
Anglerfish.
yeah, anglerfish. If you don't know what an anglerfish is, you're
They're
about to they're dope, and you're about to have your mind blown. First of all, I think there are about 200 species of them.
There are tons of anglerfishes.
There are a lot, but
Ooh, real quick side note.
Yeah.
Do you know that it is okay to say octopus, octopi, and octopuses?
I think I did know that.
Yeah, that's just to sidetrack a little bit there. You know.
Fair enough. I appreciate a good grammatical piece of trivia.
I couldn't think of the word grammatical because I'm a 4-letter kind of guy.
Well, you knew multiple different letters to describe octopus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
anyways.
Oh no, anglerfish. Anglerfish is what we're talking about.
Yes, anglerfish.
Okay.
So the anglerfish is a type of fish that generally, what they all have. The reason they're called an anglerfish is you think of angler, you think of fishing. So what they all have like this protuberance over that comes out of like their forehead area, and a little thing hangs off it that looks like something another fish might want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously because they're fishing for other fish. The crazy part about anglerfish is that most of the species live in the pitch black depths of the ocean. So a lot of anglerfish, some of them only that little thing glows, but I think a lot of them their whole body actually glows.
Yeah, their whole body glows, and they also a lot of them have very very large tentacles. Some of them have very large tentacles that go
Tentacles?
far- not tentacles. I'm sorry, but like
I think they might be like fin extensions. Like
No, I
little
think-
things coming off their
yeah, okay,
fins.
Okay. Yep. Dorsal extensions. And
Yeah,
stuff
because
like
they don't
that,
really
like a-
swim with their fins. They just kind of wriggle through the water. Like they're not real good swimmers at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they just kind of wriggle through the water and like hope that something comes at, because they can't actively hunt. That's why they have the thing.
That's why they have the.
They have
angler.
the thing that just hangs out right in front of their mouth, and then when something goes at it, their lower jaw will come up and like gulp it basically.
Yes.
And they can swallow. They can eat prey that's like twice as big as their whole body.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Their mouth opens up that big that they can.
Yes.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they bioluminesce. And I think the same way that all animals do is that they incorporate. Maybe not all animals, but the way that they bioluminesce is that their body somehow has bacteria in it that when agitated it glows. So when they swim, sometimes their body glows a little bit, but when they wriggle the thing, it agitates
That's
the
what actually
bacteria. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens. It agitates the
Oh,
bacteria and
really?
it glows. Yeah, I
That's
don't think they're
interesting.
constantly glowing. Only when they're moving,
Only when they're moving.
and they glow blue. And animals at that depth usually have very poor vision
But blue is
and
one of the
also
things that
can't
they can
see.
the
No, they
most.
can't. Other animals can't really see the blue that they glow.
Really?
Yeah, only the things that they. I think only the See, that's a good question. I don't think they bioluminesce for a specific. I don't think it has anything to do with their hunting.
It has to, Jake.
I don't know if it does. I don't know
What
if it
else would
does.
what else would it?
Because that was one thing I read more than once was that other animals can't see their glow. So I think the dangly thing, it's the motion that attracts them. It's the movement.
That's true. Okay, yeah, the movement.
You know what I
of it
mean?
itself,
Because
yeah,
animals
support
down
that.
at that depth don't have good eyes.
Don't have.
They
no,
have
they have
because the water doesn't move much
fusion.
down there either, so they feel movement and pulses and electrical
mhm.
signals and stuff. You know what I mean?
That
They
makes
s-
sense.
they
And
can
that
sense
makes another
other
reason
things.
why the anglerfish doesn't need to actively hunt though, because
Right.
it's only moving that.
It just
one
moves that little
specific
thing. Something comes up, they gulp it. Don't need to eat for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, I want to talk about like the one of the only things that I know of an anglerfish that I think is probably one of the dopest things about an anglerfish, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Go for it.
The females are the ones that are bigger and have this thing that they
Right.
actively hunt.
Right. We're talking about
males?
females.
Yeah.
The males,
The
on the other hand,
males
have
are-
one purpose only.
Way smaller. I'm talking way smaller. They're literally a swimming little penis.
Yes.
Because all those things do, their sole purpose
Mm-hmm.
is to find a female, bite it, attach it
Like anywhere on its body, they bite. They just
anywhere
bite
on
it.
its body. They bite it, they attach to it, and they legitimately like melt into
Mm-hmm.
the female. And then
Yes.
once this occurs, the female goes, "Oh, all right. When I'm ready, I'll reproduce."
Yeah.
She's basically got sperm on tap to
On
fertilize
tap.
her eggs whenever she wants them, and that's all the male does, and that's it.
They don't even have a digestive system.
Nope, nope. The males are literally swimming sperm donors,
They don't even have their own circulatory system after a little while once they're attached.
right? Everything is just he pulls
Everything just
so
melds in,
basically,
and they just have their
he is
nuts.
but he also survives off of her. He's basically a parasite.
That's exactly it.
he's
They
a
become
parasite.
the male anglerfish is a parasite. They don't hunt. They don't eat. They literally find a female as quick as they can. They bite on with their teeth. Eventually, they grow together.
And then
His
that's it.
circulatory system melds with hers. All his organs, if he had any, melt away. His eyes go away.
His eyes go away. No. He legit. When the scientists first started catching anglerfish and really studying them, they legitimately thought that the males were like tumors. They thought they were odd
Whoa.
tumors because they were finding them on different parts of the anglers
Right.
after multiple species, or not species. I'm sorry, but multiple
Specimens.
specimens. Thank you. God, I love how quick you are inside my brain. Multiple specimens, dude. They found these growths on all the different sides of it, and they're like, "What the heck is this?" And then after like more studying, they're like, "Ooh,
It's the dudes.
it's the dudes." Right? That goes to show you, man, evolution.
And they can have 6 or more on them at any one time. 6 or more
That I
males.
did not know.
Yep.
That I did not know. Really?
6. Mm-hmm. 6 or more.
Up to 6?
No, 6 or more.
6 or more. So this is something that occurs all the time.
Yeah. Like a female probably has a male on it. And a male won't be deterred from attaching if there's like 5 other males on there already. They
won't
just find a
leave, right?
female. Boom. No, they can't.
They can't.
They can't. They're part of it. They're part of that female now.
Oh man, the pictures.
I didn't look up any
Ew,
pictures.
Gross.
I'll have to do that.
Oh, it's gross.
And you know,
dude, because they're all
species of
over them.
anglerfish can get up to 110 pounds.
Whoa, wait a minute. What?
3.5 feet long, 110 pounds. That math doesn't quite work out to me, but I think it's because they're so round and bulbous in their shape.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they can get real big.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, they're nasty looking, and they have huge teeth too. That's worth mentioning. They have giant, like kind of
Ginormous,
inward turning
ridiculously-
teeth. So in the off chance that something does go in front of their little dangly doodad, they're getting
They're
it.
getting it.
Mm-hmm.
They have teeth that are actually similar. The best way I can describe them with the outward protrusion that they have is
Mhm.
very similar to sand tiger sharks that the vast majority of people see in aquariums, like the scary shark you see.
Oh,
in
the
an
ones with their
aquarium
teeth are all
out,
snaggly and
kind of like pointing outward.
yeah,
That's the best way I can describe that.
gross, dude. They're
Yeah,
so
it's
gross.
real gross, dude. Yeah.
What else do I have? So they lay eggs like any fish does.
Okay.
The female will lay eggs in like a sheet, like a gelatinous sheet, I guess. And the
Okay.
sheet will actually floats and makes its way up toward the surface. And when the fry hatch, or the larva, whatever they're fucking called, I guess the larva.
Dude, you know what they call it?
What?
An arc.
An arc? That's the egg thing?
Yeah, anglerfish arcs.
Whoa. So yeah,
Go ahead.
so the eggs hatch and up at the surface, and the baby anglerfish eat plankton up there, and then when they get to a certain size, they swim back down to the depths and live their life there.
Crazy is that, dude?
Bananas, man.
Lives primary, like all of its life down at the bottom of the ocean. You know what I mean? Like you think about like what salmon do to breed. Like what the hell?
Dude, salmon are
How difficult
crazy,
all these
dude.
animals' lives are.
Yeah, dude. For real.
And how lucky in that's insane. How lucky it is for them to have even survived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild how many animals are just like they just eat and 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 eat. And then like some of them make an insane journey to go breed
And then die.
and then die.
Mhm.
Or make an insane journey and then go back. And then, you know what I mean? Or make it you do it over and over again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whales have breeding areas. I was gonna say breeding ground, but it's water, not ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, don't now. I'm pretty sure that like blue whales, we have no idea where they breed.
Yeah, we don't know much about what they do, really.
Yeah, the largest animal on this planet, we are
Like their territory is all the territory. Like it's
Yeah.
everywhere.
er, where?
Everywhere.
I haven't heard that in a long time. That's great.
Like
Yeah,
their
I'm a-
territory is everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
Wherever they want to go, they can go, and ain't nothing stopping them.
Pretty sure land will stop him from getting to Kansas.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good
Because
point.
if I said something like that, you would say something.
Yeah, land would stop them from getting where they want to
Land
go.
does stop them, right?
As far as the water, a blue whale can go where it pleases.
Where it pleases. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I read an article recently, and I can't remember where it was. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in America. They are having like major bull shark problems in rivers,
Really?
like
Ooh.
big time. Like dudes were like casting off, and like bull shark after bull shark after bull shark, like
Whoa.
legitness.
What's up with that?
They can swim in brackish water, and then eventually they could probably go on both sides. Because they can handle brackish, they can probably just.
There's
handle
some of
fresh.
them that can handle fresh. Yeah.
There's got to be, dude.
And
That's got
over
to be an
time-
evolutionary trait, dude. That eventually is passed on. That
Yeah,
they're
that's
like, "All
that's
right,
how it
you know what,
happens.
screw
Yeah.
it." That's nuts too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Wow.
I got a lot of research that I got to do now.
Great.
This was fun. I really feel like animals is really a going theme with us that I find to be the most interesting between the two of us.
Yeah.
That makes us have conversations consistently, springing off, and then other subjects coming up with it. I think animals is like our go-to.
Half of the shit we talk about is animals already.
already, right? I
Yeah.
would say so. And out of what, 25 episodes or 20 episodes you and I have done?
This is 20. I think this one's 25. Yeah.
This is 25, 25th episode.
Well, I think this is like your 20th,
I think this is
technically.
maybe 19th.
something like that. Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. Oh, my shoulder just popped. Yeah, I'm already kind of upset about next week, but hopefully I have a really good. It's actually a cool training course that I'm supposed to be going to, so
Cool.
that'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that I can even bring up as a subject.
That's all I got. Well, you contributed a lot. We spent probably
Yeah.
a third of the time talking about stuff that you came up with. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. This was fun. I hope
Yeah, man.
everybody enjoys this one.
this is a good one.
I think I only swore 4 or 5 times.
I have no clue. I
I
didn't
did.
even
I think
catch
I was
it. The
calling-
times you even called yourself out, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's good. It's because I flow with it.
You're just so you're just a smooth cursor. You know.
Well, you know what it is, man, is I really do feel like, yes, okay, I can understand where cursing could be bad. You don't want a kid to swear. Swearing brings context to a lot of subjects, and it actually brings a lot of, if it's the correct situation for the swear. I really
It's
don't
the
have a
only
problem.
thing that works.
It's
The problem is you don't want your kids swearing up a storm in front of other people who are going to be offended. And he's too young for you to fully explain to him.
why he
how-
can't.
It's too young for you to teach him to have a filter. So the safest thing is to
Is to
just
not
because you
swear
know he's
around.
going to say anything.
Yeah.
Safest thing is to not swear around him, and then around 13, 12 or 13 when you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember Josh and Tyler and I, or no, me and I think I don't think it was the three of us. Me and Josh one day decided together that we would have a pact, a peace treaty, a truce, if you will, that we could swear around each other and we wouldn't tell on each other. Because prior to that, we weren't allowed to swear. So if we heard each other swear, it'd be like, "Yo, we're not supposed to be swearing." And when we weren't together, we would do it. But when we heard the other one do it, like, "Yo, you can't," like, you know what I mean? Like, we would police each other.
Wow, that's
and
really
then
cool.
and then one day, I remember, like, we were
like,
I think
"Hey,
we were
man,
on the
this-"
school bus, and one day we were like, "Listen, man, I'm tired of this. I don't want to have to worry about this. You don't want to have to worry about it. Let's just call a truce. We can swear around each other. We won't tell on each other, and the rest is history."
That's it. What
So
a
funny-
cool, funny thing, though. You
right?
think about, man, that like kids do. And
Yeah.
we were like, well, listen, man. Hey.
Listen, dude.
Dude, so Stu hit me up.
Yeah. Well, let's end this so we can talk about that.
You got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, love you. This was great.
Love you too, man.
Hope
This is
everybody had
great.
fun. I really
Yeah.
hope we entertain people with this stuff.
We always do.
I
Well,
don't care.
you and I are entertained, so that's the point.
Exactly.
So cool. Thanks for
Excellent.
checking out, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.